Hey guys, Ken's97 Stow 171. We are going to do a point of view video with the new camera. You can see the setup there. We'll see how this goes. I'm almost drove the Miata today, but decided, quite frankly, I was in the mood for the air conditioning. So anyway, I'm headed north. Go hang out with my friend Tom. So there's not been too much going on. I'm still going through rehab on my knee and my hand. Mostly I'm just wanted to try out the point of view. You know what? We'll go through town. So we'll be driving through downtown Newport here. It's the city building there. Get your license and all that done. Where they like to be a royal pain in the ass half the time. So, yeah, not too much else. They've been working my hand pretty fierce in physical therapy. That's rather unpleasant. One of the therapists is a little more gentle and tends to do more massage therapy type stuff, which is important too. And then the other girl is woman, sorry. She tends to like bend your joints, and she does it really hard to the point where it makes her hands cramp up. So if that gives you an idea how much force she's putting on my knuckles trying to get the scar tissue out of them. And it hurts like hell. Solved my exhaust problem. Well, I determined what was wrong with it and had it fixed, sort of. It told you it was making a whooshing noise, which you couldn't hear on the video actually, that I'd posted previously. But as the throttle increased, it was making a whooshing sound, like air was like whoosh, you could hear it like blowing out of a small hole. And took it to Ryan's muffler shop in Florence, Kentucky. I've done some work there before. They're really good guys. They know what they're doing. They do a good job. And just had them look over the car, and they started beating around on the muffler, started beating around on on this car, it comes off the engine, there's a cat, comes back down and straight back, there's two cats, it's a flange, and see a lot of these things running around Newport. And then it wides over to the left side of the car. There's a third cat that isn't regulated, it's just there. And then that goes to the muffler, and then the muffler goes over the axle, and then there's a resonator just before the tailpipe and the bumper. well, they beat on that resonator right by the tailpipe, and you could hear shit rattling around in it. And they fired it up, revved it up in some fiberglass crap. Big chunk of fiberglass blew out of the pipe. So we were pretty sure it was that last resonator had failed. One of the baffles had gotten rusted through or something. So what we did was we just cut the thing off, and then they custom fabricated a new pipe that's the same shape as the tailpipe, and just eliminated the thing. Just to see if that would get rid of the whooshing noise, and if it didn't, then it was maybe also the muffler had failed. What the hell? Okay, that freaked me out for a second. It's weird when you come up and you're suddenly looking at the front of a car. But that solved it. The only thing that I don't really like is it's just a little bit louder, right about 2,000 RPM. You may hear it here. It sounds pretty good around the city, but the only thing that I don't really like is that when you're on the highway at about 65 miles an hour, you're sitting right at 2,000 RPM, and even with the windows up, you can hear it inside the car just a little bit, just a tiny bit, which, you know, if any place I'd like it to be quiet, it would be on the highway. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I mean, I could just buy the replacement part and have them weld that back in, you know, be okay. Either way, it needed to get, oh my god. Those sewers are below the level of the street for some reason. They just repaved this, but they didn't bother to level the sewers with the road. Isn't that genius? They could order the part, have them weld it back in. Now that I know for sure that it is, you know, that last resonator. There's a Reds game tonight. I saw those people back there. Sorry, I'm a little scatterbrained today. Or maybe that's as usual. I find I do that when I vlog. Particularly on the motorcycle. You tend to your brain it's like ADD. And I think it's because you're looking at so many different things. Excuse me while I get a drink, guys. It's a little warm. I mean, it doesn't sound bad, and when you're on it and you let the revs come up and you're in the throttle pretty good, it actually sounds pretty decent. When I get up this ramp here, I might get an opportunity to let you guys hear it. Or not. Get around this corner and I'll romp on it and see. Right behind anyway, so I didn't really go anywhere, but maybe you guys got to hear that. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, but it sounds pretty good. This car sounded pretty good anyway when it was under heavy load and revving up. And I like the way it sounds. It's not overly loud with the new with the resonator cut off, but I really wish it didn't drone at 2,000 RPM on the highway. So, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've seen a few guys on YouTube. There are some good exhausts available Not so much for this car, but this is the same basic engine that's in the Genesis, the Hyundai Genesis 3.8. And there are a lot of good exhausts for that car, and that engine sounds badass. It sounds pretty close to a Nissan GTR. Not quite, but pretty close. So, you know, and it's the same layout as this. You know, separate manifolds, comes straight back along the transmission tunnel, and then joins in an X pipe. And then goes back to true dual exhausts, whereas this goes 2-to-1. But I could certainly run. There's enough room that I could, you know, come back, join in an X, and then go over, and then just stay, you know, run 2 pipes where there's 1 pipe right now, because there's tons of room over there. That'd be pretty cool. But, you know, this is a pretty nice car. I don't know that I want it to sound like a race car. You know, the other thing is too, if I'm driving around in the backwoods, quiet's probably better. So, we'll see. Oh man, I'm tired. I shouldn't be. I didn't get to bed till about 6 or 7 in the morning, and just a little tired today. Right there at 65. Maybe you guys can hear this, probably not, but right there. It's really quiet. I mean, it's almost not noticeable. You know, and I don't have the radio on or the fan on high. If you get the radio going or something, you don't hear anything. So the weird thing is, it doesn't really sound. I've rolled the window like next to this wall here on the way home the other day. I put the window down, and it really isn't any louder outside. So one thing I might do is look and see if I can't get a exhaust tip extender. Maybe the pipe needs to come just a little, maybe a little farther out from the bumper. Maybe it's some of the sound is getting trapped. Oh boy, this is different. Maybe some of the sound is getting trapped, you know, under the muffler and resonating around in the cargo area. I don't know. I just realized I'm being a dumbass, and I'm best off to take 74. So this will be the second video, and if this turns out good, then I've got a bunch of videos of stuff that I've bought recently. You know, some new toys, and this layout is really easy for me to, you know, do a review on a new product, because I can put it on my hat, and my hands are free, and it usually works pretty good. So as I mentioned, this car, it rides a bit truck-like, and it's one of the things that I don't like about it. But and particularly on stuff like that, where you've got the pavement bulging up, you know, where there's a crease. It can be kind of annoying. I have no idea what that is. Sorry, my car's trash, guys. But I've thoroughly enjoyed driving this. I'm sure a 2010 and newer, the newer Sorento would drive better. There's no doubt it would ride and drive and probably be quieter. But as I mentioned in the last video, I really wanted the body on frame because of its strength and durability and towing capacity. So I'll put up for a little bit of a rough ride in return for a vehicle that has more capabilities that I need. And I enjoy driving it. I mean, it doesn't handle bad. You know, you can toss it in, especially at slow speed, you can toss it into a corner and it handles it pretty good. And shit like that is where you notice it's a truck. I like that. And like that. Some of the wind noise we're hearing too are these shaded things that are on the side of the car. And if you roll the window down, you can actually see that they're moving. I think it would actually be quieter in here without those things. But I had a friend look at them, and he kind of warned me that if I try to peel those off, it's liable to take the paint off with it. And so, and if I wanted to try it, the winter time was the best time to try it, when the adhesive was cold. That it tended to come off better when it was cold. So I'll wait. Other issues I've had, I think I mentioned that I had the timing chain tensioners all redone, and I did not, unfortunately, get a chance to edit that video and put any pictures. I still don't really have a video editor. I was able to, using Windows Movie Maker, I can cut out sections, but it doesn't really have the ability to edit as much as I'd like. So at least for now, I'm probably just going to be doing like I always did and just post videos as they are. But I've got a bunch of photos of the teardown of the engine. It was kind of interesting, and it took us a couple days. New shocks front and rear, new rotors on the front. As I mentioned, this particular model is known for warping rotors. So if you own one of these and you've had rotors go, just stop buying the cheap Kia ones and you know, buy some quality rotors. I think I got mine from Something Concepts. If you look on the Kia Sorento Nation forum, you can find out, you know, the kind that you should get. And I got the cross-drilled and slotted medium grade. They have just basic ones that are just solid rotors, and then they've got cross-drilled and slotted made of a particular steel that's stronger, and then you can opt for a third option that has yet again stronger steel, also cross-drilled and slotted, and they're powder coated around the hat and around the perimeter. There's definitely a difference in steel quality because you know, on this, I didn't get that one. I got the middle one, where the hat is exposed around the hub, and they don't rust. I mean, it's been in the wet. Most rotors, when they get wet and they sit, they rust, and these have not. So there's definitely a difference in material, and I've been pretty happy with them so far. They definitely stop better. So definitely, you know, if you have one of these and it's been a recurring headache for having the rotors warp, do yourself a favor and just buy some good ones. You know, they really weren't that much more expensive than the ones you get at a, you know, local parts place. So, the only thing that doesn't work is the power mirrors, and we think this fuse is okay, so we think the switch here is bad. And as I mentioned, I got a check engine light for the secondary O2 sensor, which doesn't do anything except tell the computer, yes, your catalytic converter is still working. Doesn't affect the car. And every once in a while, I'll get a ABS ESC light. I think the left front, the wheel sensor, is got either bad wire to it. That's what I'm suspecting, is that the wire is frayed, because you'll turn the wheel a certain direction, and particularly sharp turns, and then the light will come on. So I got to get down there and figure out what that is. But so some little problems. But anytime you buy a used car with 125,000 miles on it, you're going to have a few things to deal with. It's weird when you're doing a video, you start becoming conscious of all the little noises and things. There's something down here, it's creaking a little plasticky noise. Never heard that before. Of course. No sunroof. It's got the lights right here. A couple of things I like is that the speedometer is like the old cruise control is like the old GM ones, where you set the cruise, and if you accelerate 3 times, it speeds up by 3 miles an hour. And if you hit coast 3 times, it slows down by 3 miles an hour. The other thing that I like is that the mechanical door locks right here, if you move the knob, they lock. And I like that. Subarus used to be that way. And what else? There's a couple other things. Like I said, heated mirrors. It's got a heated windshield. Decent stereo. It's not fantastic. As soon as I stop the video, whatever it is that's creaking, making a plastic noise down here, it won't happen again. I won't be able to figure out what it is. It's always when you're posting a video. Nothing wrong with the steering wheel. I put this on here because this one doesn't have the leather wrap wheel. It's just the polyurethane steering wheel, and it was a little slippery to my fingers. So I particularly like these ones that you wrap yourself, because they have just enough squish, and it has some texture to it, so it's just easy to palm the wheel. I just like these better than most. The ones you slip on, I never really like those. You can still get these at Advanced Auto Parts, I think is where I found them. And I've got one on the Miata too. If you had the upgraded model, you would have stereo controls right here. It's got a little change thing right here. Cigarette lighters down there. And I'm not trying to make this a review on my Kia Sorento, but well, what else did I do today? I was looking around on YouTube, and was YouTube? I don't know. Anyway, I got the idea to look up the old Castle Wolfenstein game. Wolfenstein, whatever. The real first-person shooter game. And found a copy of that. And it won't play on Windows 7 or Vista, I don't think. You gotta have Windows XP, or you run it in a virtual machine or under DOSBox or something. But I had an XP machine sitting there, and it's pretty funny to see the graphics from 20 years ago. Still a fun game. Mein Lieben. It's always good to have to shoot Nazis, right? I mean, that was the premise of the game. They all had funny sounds and noises they made. The stereo's got an amp under the seat, under my seat, and it's kind of weird because there's way too much bass. If you leave it, normally I'm at like +2, +4 on the bass, and I kind of go to the plus side on all the settings. It overdrives the speakers. So I've got the bass set at like -5, and that's where it does the best. You can still hear it. Otherwise, it just overdrives the bass, and I don't really know whether there's a problem with the speakers. I mean, for all I know, the cones are blown. I mean, it sounds okay, but I want to do a 6-inch touchscreen. Although the more I look into that, the more I'm wondering if I not really ought to spend that much money and just get a, as long as it'll do like Pandora and iHeartRadio and the basic apps through my phone, I'd be happy with that. And you can get a non-touchscreen that'll do that pretty cheap. It'd be nice to have the backup camera since I got the tow hitch, and you kind of need a touchscreen for that. But it seems like a lot of the touchscreens they don't operate with the Android phone as much as they do iPhones, and I'm not making that switch. So there's I got the green light. Here we go. You gotta be careful at the top of this hill here. Not sure you actually heard anything there. Anyway, guys, I'm almost to my friend's house, so I'm gonna cut this short, and you guys have an incredible day and be safe out there. See you guys.